In the news today, no liquor at the wall. Canador's hero makes a trip to New York to be on the Letterman Show, and hockey fans make the trip to Sudbury to see the Battalion play. Good afternoon, I'm Kyle Mywart, and this is Canador Newsnet. Our top story. Recently, the Wall Bar and Grill House lost its liquor license, resulting in the cancellation of regularly scheduled programming. In a statement released by the Wall on its website, it stated that in regards to the Wall's inability to serve alcohol, it is not a result of any liquor license infraction. It has to do with the management of the space between liquor license holder and the managing extension of that license. Canador College President George Burton says this isn't a Canador issue, but needs to be worked out between Nipissing University and the Wall. Meanwhile, the communications coordinator at the university, Bob Pipe, says that alcohol hasn't been served since last Friday because of a restaurant administration issue. He says the Alcohol and Gaming Commission has issued a cease and desist order when it comes to selling alcohol. He says the contract between the university, Canador College, and the student unions governing the administration of the restaurant is being reviewed. He says the contract hasn't been reviewed recently and is no longer in compliance with the financial oversight obligations. It could be a long time before alcohol is flowing again. Pipe says he doesn't know when the issue will be resolved. A Canador College student appeared on one of TV's most popular late-night shows this week. Alongside her was her dog, who performed a special trick in front of David Letterman. Andrew Hawkridge reports on her. It's National Collection Week for Operation Christmas Child. Shoeboxes are being filled with toys, candy, hygiene items, and school supplies. They are then sent overseas to children between the ages of 2 and 16. Mariska Siriton visited North Bay last year from Tobago. Steph Burt-Hilliard caught up with her then, and she shares her story of receiving shoeboxes as a child. Mike Ball is outside with a look at the local weather forecast. Let's go outside and see what it's looking like. Mike?
Thanks, Kyle. Well, the fog does seem to be dissipating from this morning, and it is more visible. Let's take a look at our short-term forecast. Tonight you can expect some light rain with a low of 7 degrees, and tomorrow you can expect a mix of light rain and scattered flurries with a high of 6. Well, it looks like you won't be needing your coat for today, but you may need it next week. Back to you, Kyle.
Thanks, Mike. It's the last thing you would expect. A reporter goes to a wedding expo dressed as a hot bride-to-be, then gets hit on by one of the event staff. Who better than Sadie Zalowski to report on the story? Here's a unique idea for a fundraiser. The Whitewater Gallery is inviting the public to come in and make their mark in any creative, fun, and artistic way possible. Canador Newsnet reporter Mandy Richard has more on the story. Mike Ball is going to take a look at the local weather forecast and answer the question, will we have snow soon? Now it's time for a look at the local weather forecast with Mike Ball. Mike, it's looking pretty nice out there today, but is there any chance of snow in the next couple days?
Thanks, Kyle. Well, the temperatures are warmer than usual, but you should expect snow within the next few days. Starting out in Vancouver, it is at 7 degrees with minor cloudiness. Heading into Edmonton, it is minus 13 with partial cloudiness as well. Regina is at minus 11, and a few flurries are occurring right now. Heading into Toronto, it is a high of minus 11 and is sunshine everywhere. Heading into St. John's, it's a high of plus 5 and there's partial cloudiness. And Halifax is mainly sunny with minus 3. Let's look at the Northern Ontario map. So in the Soo, actually, you could see some flurries heading in over the bay right now. The Soo, it's at 12 degrees with increasing cloudiness. In Sudbury, it's 10 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. Heading into Timmins, it's 11 degrees with minor cloudiness. And in North Bay, it's 10 degrees and it's mainly sunny right now. Let's have a look at our 5-day weather forecast. So currently, it is 11 degrees and it's sunny. Heading into Friday, it's minor rain. It's going to be a high of 9 and a low of minus 5. Saturday, it'll be a high of minus 1 and a low of minus 7 with partial cloudiness. Heading into Sunday, the partial cloudiness will continue, staying at -1 and the low of -4. And heading into Monday, it'll be sunshine with a low of -5 and a high of -1. So the temperatures are decreasing, Kyle. That answers your question.
Thanks, Mike. Good thing we've all been growing out our mustaches for a little bit. Coming up after the break, Colby Clark fills us in on a jam-packed week of sports.
I really wish I had remembered my lines.
Oh, love the NHL though.
We're not talking about that. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to our show. I'm joined by our trusty sports anchor, Colby Clark. Thanks for joining me, Colby.
It's a pleasure as always, Kyle. It's great to be here. Big announcement in North Bay this week as we're finally getting our OHL team back.
Yeah, it was actually, I went to Sudbury last Wednesday to catch the game. I saw them in action against the Wolves. The Battalions looking like a great team. You know, they have a good record, and I think it's going to be great to have that energy in the city.
Yeah,
There's over 300 fans in Sudbury last week to catch the game.
There's definitely been a lot of excitement around the city for sure. The Brampton Battalion were in Sudbury this past weekend as North Bay fans got a taste of some of the hockey that will be coming next year. As Kyle Mywart reports, fans were excited to see some of the puck that we're going to see next season. Wow. The North Bay Trappers and the Sioux Thunderbirds were in a tight battle for first place in the NOJHL as Memorial Gardens was the setting for a Sunday afternoon game. Let's pick it up early in the second period as Trappers forward Tate Sagan grabs a loose puck and goes in all alone, beating Sioux goalie Joel Horzizik to make it 1-0 Trappers, and what a beauty dangle that was. Mid-second we go as Brandon Janke threads a nice pass to Corbin Bean, who makes no mistake beating Horzizik with a quick shot, making it 2-0 Trappers. Great pass there. Thunderbirds will get a chance, however, as Dallas McLaughlin breaks in all alone before Cole Klippenstein saves the day with a beautiful diving poke check right there. Trappers goalie Dustin Hummel was solid on the night as he turned away 38 T-Birds shots, including 3 nice saves in this sequence, as the Trappers would go on to beat the first-place Thunderbirds 2-0. It was a busy night in the NBA as 28 teams were in action, with multiple games going right down to the wire. Let's see some of those scores to see who came out on top. A lot of games last night in the NBA as 8 teams needed extra time to decide a winner. The Toronto Raptors lost a nail-biter to Charlotte as the Bobcats forward Kemba Walker scored 19 points in a close 98-97 victory. Raptors forward Andrea Bargnani had a game-high 25 points in the loss. The Miami Heat found themselves in a tough battle against the Bucks as they squeaked by Milwaukee with a 113-106 overtime win. LeBron James and Dwayne Wade led the Heat with 28 points apiece. Blake Griffin and Chris Paul both had a quiet night against Oklahoma City as Kevin Durant scored 35 in the Thunder's 117-111 overtime victory. Indiana pulled out a close 115-107 win in overtime to take down New Orleans as Pacers center Roy Hibbert had a triple-double, including a whopping 11 blocks in the win. Atlanta edged out the Washington Wizards in overtime as Josh Smith had 12 rebounds and 28 points in the Hawks' 101-100 victory. And now it's time for our trivia question of the day. Today's question is, can you name the last OHL team to call North Bay home? And our hint today, Kyle, is this OHL team that used to be in North Bay played here for 20 years, from 1982 to 2002.
Well, Colby, with all the talk of the Battalion coming back to North Bay, there's been a lot of talk about the OHL leaving North Bay, so I know the answer, very confident.
Yeah.
The North Bay Centennials played here 10 years ago.
That is correct, Kyle. Great guess. The Centennials served in North Bay for 20 years, like I previously said, and before they were relocated and renamed the Saginaw Spirit.
Perfect. Coming up after the break, chance to talk to entertainer Joel Plaskett. What are you gonna?
Well,
What are you gonna do for
nothing. Actually, I'm pretty sure.
What?